Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be previewing and predicting the 2020 Stanley Cup Final between my Dallas Stars and my Tampa Bay Lightning. Now the reason I say my is because the Dallas Stars are my first favorite team. Tampa is number 2. Been that way since I was a hockey fan. Live in Dallas, but Tampa's always just been intriguing to me as a team, and I've always enjoyed watching them, always wanted to see them have success. And now they both have collided together in the 2020 Stanley Cup Finals. 2020 is very weird, and this just continues it. But when it comes to this series, what is the makeup of this series? Who is the favorites? And who do I think will win this series between the Dallas Stars and the Tampa Bay Lightning? Watch till the end for all my predictions, all my previewing, and all my thoughts. And of course, hit that big red subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Now, besides just a fan perspective, this Stanley Cup Final is set up to be an absolutely amazing one. In terms of predictions, I'm not going to get into it quite yet, but personally, I see it at least going 6 games. I think this is going to be a great series for a lot of different reasons, and a super close one as well. When we dissect the both teams, they're both in interesting spots. With Dallas, they've been labeled as a defensive team, which was the case in the regular season, but so far in the 2020 playoffs, with the exception of a few games versus Vegas maybe, they've been this roaring offensive team with a bunch of goal scoring. Meanwhile, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've been more reserved and less goal scoring, but more defensive style play. And that's led to wins, that's led to success, and now they're in the Stanley Cup Final. So both kind of in opposite directions, but find themselves facing each other for the 2020 playoffs and being the last 2 teams in the Edmonton bubble. So when it comes to this Stanley Cup Final, again, personally, I see it going the distance, either 6 or 7 games. I see it being super close. When you look at both teams, Tampa on paper is the better team. And I'm going to be real here as a Dallas Stars fan. Tampa should be the favorites. But I wouldn't count the Dallas Stars out to, 1, make it a close series, and 2, to potentially even win this one. It might go the distance for Dallas if they win it, but I think it'll be super close, and Dallas, I think, does have a pretty decent chance. Now, in terms of the makeup of both forward groups, Tampa, on paper, 100% has the advantage, and there's no question. But Dallas's depth scoring has actually been low-key, very solid throughout the playoffs, and it's one of the reasons why they have gotten this far. Miro Heiskanen has been amazing, of course. Benn has been really sneaky good in terms of goal scoring, and it goes down the list. You got guys like Klingberg up there, Denis Gurianov, who's being unreal, but you got guys that really weren't contributing as much in the regular season, like Radek Faksa, who's close to double-digit points in these playoffs. That is huge. Meanwhile, for Tampa, it's the usual suspects. They got suspects. They got Brayden and Kucherov, both at 25 points each, both having unreal years. Then you have Victor Hedman, 14 points, Palat 13, Gord 12. You got Blake Coleman, Texas-born stud, at number 10, and that will be interesting to see as well, how that depth scoring comes through. I mean, we see in Cup Finals time and time again how depth scoring especially can be so crucial. And for Dallas, I don't know if I give them the advantage on paper, but so far in these playoffs, they proved they can be a very serviceable team in that department. And if the star power guys like Tyler Seguin actually start to get going, it could be a lot more dangerous in that department. In terms of defenses, I think right now at least, Tampa has a little bit more momentum on their side. They've been playing more of that defensive style hockey, and they've been a pretty good job of containing the New York Islanders in the Eastern Conference Final. Before that, some very solid teams as well. So I think Tampa's defense is very strong at the moment. Dallas, of course, has the potential to be. They haven't been completely shut down, or at least in the playoffs. But in the Vegas Golden Knights series, they did a really good job of just pressuring the Vegas Golden Knights, not letting them get too many shot lanes. Guys like Mark Desault, Pacioretty, Riley Smith weren't able to do the damage that they would normally do. So for Tampa, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. I would still give the advantage to Tampa defensively, even though Dallas did better in the regular season. Just with Tampa's momentum, I think that'll help them out well. And then you get into goaltending with Vasilevsky as the starter and Anton Khudobin, the backup, now turned starter for the Dallas Stars, who's been unbelievable these playoffs. It's interesting to see who is the better one at the moment. Vasilevsky's having a great playoff, and Khudobin's having a great playoff. Overall, Vasilevsky is the better goaltender, but Khudobin just has the momentum on his side. He's just been one of the main reasons why Dallas is here to begin with, and he's just been consistently good. There has been some fluky games here where he just wasn't on his game, but especially in that Vegas series, he was unbelievable, consistently great every single night, I felt, for the most part. Goaltending-wise, overall, I'd give the advantage to Tampa, but Anton Khudobin should not be messed with. Now, when we look at the raw stats for both contenders and also the special teams, it's very interesting to see how both have fared so far from the playoffs. You have Dallas, who scored 62 goals up to this point and also allowed 64. They're -2 so far goal differential-wise, but are still, of course, in the Stanley Cup final. Then you have Tampa Bay, who's a lot more clean. They've scored 57 goals and allowed 41. Really 23 less than Dallas has so far. Then you get into the special teams, and the power play is where Dallas has the advantage. They have a 27.3% power play compared to Tampa with a 19.6%. The penalty kill is a little more even, but Dallas still has the advantage, 83.3% compared to 81.1% or the 3.1% for Tampa. So in terms of penalty killing, I would give the shot advantage to the Stars just in general. They're a great penalty killing team. Power play, the Stars have proved to be a better power play team so far when they get the opportunities. And in terms of goal scoring, I think the Dallas Stars, it might depend on how far this series goes, but I would not be surprised by it. At the end of it, they have a more plus goal differential. It's kind of crazy how they've gone this far with having that negative minus goal differential, but at the same time, with the way they've been playing, super low scoring games, but also, at least in the Vegas series, super close ones, but also some good goal scoring. They've scored the most, they've allowed the most, and I think that will continue in this Stanley Cup final, whether Tampa wins or not. Now, another thing I do want to mention is the coaching of both teams. Jon Cooper, head coach in Tampa, and also you got Rick Bowness as the Dallas head coach. And it really couldn't be two bigger opposites of the spectrum. Jon Cooper more on the younger side, Rick Bowness, I think in his mid-60s. Rick Bowness has been in hockey for a very long time coaching-wise and has grinded his way basically to the top and is now at the other end coaching in the Stanley Cup Finals. Meanwhile, for Jon Cooper, he's been in the NHL for a while, hasn't coached for as long, but has been with Tampa for a long time. One of the main reasons why I think that team started to contend in the first place and has his second chance at a Stanley Cup after losing in the 2015 Cup Finals. So it's almost polar opposites in every single way, coaching-wise. And I also have not mentioned Pat Maroon, who has 4 points in 18 games this year. I don't know why I forgot to mention him, but yeah, he's a player. I don't know why I mentioned him. It couldn't have to do anything with the Dallas Stars at all and their internal suffering, especially in 2019. Nope. And now we get into actually predicting the Stanley Cup final between the Dallas Stars and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And to start out, I think this series is going 7 games. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you agree and disagree with in the comments down below, of course. I think this is going the distance. I think we're going to see back-to-back years of Game 7s in the Stanley Cup Final, and it's going to be an absolute grind right to the very end. I think this is a very evenly matched series with what both teams have gone through in these playoffs, and I'll explain why in a minute. But even though I might be biased here, and people will probably call me biased, I'm going to be optimistic. I've been optimistic in Game 7 versus Colorado. It worked. I was optimistic in the first few games for the Vegas Golden Knights series, and it worked. I think the Dallas Stars are going to win versus the Tampa Bay Lightning and win the Stanley Cup in 7 games. And again, you can call me biased all you want, but let me just explain for a second why I feel this way. First off, that Tampa Islanders series could not have gone better for the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars won in 5 games. Meanwhile, for Tampa, they won in 6. Not too much of a difference, right? But with Dallas, they won in 5. Meanwhile, for Tampa in Game 4, they went to double overtime, almost went to triple overtime. And in Game 6 to get the win, Game 5, they went to double overtime. In Game 6, they almost went to double overtime. And I feel like for the Dallas Stars, they didn't want to wait too long to get into the Stanley Cup final. That momentum is seriously important, and we've seen how momentum has shifted with teams that have had longer series going to the Stanley Cup final. That is huge. And I feel like for Dallas to get enough rest, but not too much rest, is super important. And you get Tampa down in 6 games, but you add the overtimes on top of it. So you don't skip any days. It's not like you're going into that series any more fresh, but you go into it with Tampa having a lot more baggage because of those overtimes, and honestly baggage because of the New York Islanders. I mean, obviously the Vegas Golden Knights, fantastic team for just in general in the NHL, and obviously for Dallas to face, but the New York Islanders are a kind of team that will just grind you down to a pulp emotionally and physically, and they start to wear on Tampa a little bit as that series went on. If not for Anthony Cirelli, this could be going 7 games. I feel like Tampa just has a little bit too much baggage there. And I feel like in a 7-game series, Dallas is just a little bit more rested, but they are a little bit more ready for this one. Sure, the momentum might be on Tampa's side right now, but I feel like Dallas just got more rest. They got, right now, maybe even more momentum. It depends on how you look at it. But I just think the Dallas Stars are going to get it done. It was a perfect series, how that Tampa series went for them, and I think they will take advantage and win the 2020 Stanley Cup. This could be completely wrong. They could be swept in 4 games, and you'll be clipping this, won't you? Yeah, I tried my best, okay? I predicted the St. Louis Blues to win the Cup last year, and it happened. So I'm going to do it again this year. We're going to get some optimism. We'll see what happens. But the Stars will be your 2020 Stanley Cup champions, and you can hold me to that. But even though I'm cheering for the Dallas Stars and predicting them to win, to Bolts fans out there, absolute congratulations. I could not be happier for them. And again, they're my second favorite team. I love seeing them play. I figured, like, I got my camera right here. I got this freaking board right. I got like this Dallas Star, and I got this like Tampa Bay Lightning wood cutout, and they're freaking beautiful. They're beautiful, and I have them next to each other because I love them both. And I feel, even though the camera's off, I'm just gonna leave it. Why not? I like the Tampa Bay Lightning quite a bit, and it's sad that I had to now root against them because the Dallas Stars, of course, are my #1 team. I would love to see Tampa win the Cup some other year, just not this year. You can probably know what I mean. I mean, same thing with Tampa as well. I'm just hoping for a close series, hoping for a good series, and if the Dallas Stars win as well, that'd be a pretty big bonus. But good luck to Bolts fans everywhere, hoping for a good series, but personally, going to 7 games, I think it will be. But also, be warned of Denis Gurianov. He's pretty good. I don't know if you know that yet. But that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for more videos just like this one, alongside the notification bell to get notified every time I upload or stream. Make sure you comment down below what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree on my predictions? Let me know. And who do you think is going to win this Stanley Cup final? Tampa or Dallas? Make sure you share this video, get it with your friends, and click on this card right here to watch all of my playoff talk right in one playlist. My name is David, and I'll see you guys in this video or stream. Goodbye.